Hi guys, I'm John Carrick, author of Legacy of a Mad Scientist and The Legend of Ashley Fox. And today we have 100 Bullets 56, along with World Fantasy Tarot, the Magician, the Warlock, which in today's world is really, tomorrow's world, or drone operator, or a hacker. 100 Bullets 56. I'm glad I took the time to do this again. I'm still in a lot of pain, but there's no reason to take that out on a comic book. So we get a full page right here of Wylie looking at the river where he has had to dump Gabe's body. But he didn't throw away the trumpet. And the dialogue, the narration is really good. It's too far away for me to read it at this point, and I'm not doing this digitally. I don't have it that set up quite yet. But Wylie is remembering a conversation he had with the Minutemen when they crossed the line. And something interesting happens here. It's Wylie and Victor at first, but then Milo, Cole, Jack, and someone named Ray show up, and they're all involved in this. Right here, Ray. So there's one character here we don't know yet. It could be this guy. But we know Cole and Jack and Wylie and Victor and Milo. That's Milo. And there's another line in here where they say, well, it's coming up. I'll talk about it then. So anyhow, they're out here, and Wylie drew this chalk line and says, when we cross this is it. And they all know that they're going to be forced to forget this. Like there's a whole thing going on with that. But they drag whoever this is out here, a version of Shepard, maybe Shepard himself, maybe he doesn't burn. But they're all talking about the place, and it's really good. It's beautiful dialogue, and it is too far away for me to read it. But this is the moment, and this is where they're talking about they're going to have to forget all this. And Cole says, someday you're going to wake up, and that's going to be a hell of a day. And Wylie's like, it's going to be a terrible day. I want a front row seat. No, you don't. You don't. So he's got Gabe's horn, and because he shot these guys with the magic bullets, he just leaves them out there. But Gabe got killed by a magic bullet too, after his jaw got ripped off by a bear trap. Now we have Harry back at his bar, the Palm Lounge, and he waves $100 in front of April, who loved to listen to Gabe play the horn, and tells her to go out and buy something. And then he sees Dizzy, and he remembers Dizzy smashing his head into the hole that Wylie made with his fist. He says, you've got a lot of balls coming back here. And she says, I'll be wearing yours around my neck if you don't stay out of my way. Hey, you can't talk to me that way. Why not? Because we're not married. Here, April, take a seat. And he sits her down next to Izzy. He says, with you two sitting in the window, that's a license to print money. That's a great page. And it flows just right. I mean, I usually hate the canted angles, but the gutters are all filled with the bigger back picture, and then it seamlessly blends into this. That's great. All I should be saying is thank you for this comic. So April says, hey, I'm April. Dizzy says, that's a nice name. I'm Isabel. Oh, that's a nice name too. And so 2 pages of this, actually. 3. No, just 2. Here and here. And those two could have sat facing each other. But anyhow, we cut to Madrid's. She's making a phone call. She's calling Shepard, who answers his phone. And he's with Anwar Madrid, who grabs the phone and smashes it. This guy's all worked up because Graves and Wylie Times are in town. And Shepard told the Trust that Graves and all the Minutemen were dead. Obviously, they are not. So this whole conversation is that. And here is where Madrid starts the bit about, have you ever slept with another guy's wife and have her leave him for you, and then she starts coming home late and suddenly you realize you're going to be the other guy? And Wylie has put on the suit and is shooting all the security. And here's where they first hear it. Sooner or later, you know she's not coming back. And then, bang, get down. All his guys are shooting in white, multiple bullets, but Wylie's just, it's a .40 Smith & Wesson, I think. They named the gun in the last book, and I don't remember it already. And Shepard, this whole time this is going on, Shepard is trying to explain to Madrid that they're not really here for him, that Wylie is not really here for him. He knows who it is. And he's telling him that Wylie is the most vicious, the sharpest. He's the last one you want coming after you. I love the shoe getting blown up out here. Yeah, it was way out of line for me to say that this was ever bad. But I will say that this is cheap, that I've seen this before. This gets used a lot in bad television where all the action happens off screen, so you don't have to see the squid. Well, here we get a big explosion. Okay, so that's something. But all these shots are people getting shot off camera. None of I guess these guys get shot on camera, or we just see Wylie point the gun, because we don't hear it until here, and then we don't see it. So we just have Shepard getting him down. We do get an explosion here, though. But again, all the action happens off screen. It's like Superman beating up some bad guys, and you don't see it in Lois and Clark. Or any other, show where they do that. It raises the suspense, I guess. But so here's Shepard pointing his gun at the door. These 2 pages would have been great back to back too. Like if you'd had one here and one here. What does this add? So yeah, if you'd have had one here and one here, I think it would have read better. But at any rate, you get them saying, do something, Shepard. I am. I'm finishing the race. So Wylie has shot out the lock, and then these guys burst in, and these are their guys. Where is he? Not yet. Shepard had told him he was dead. Not yet, I'm not. You've got 2, Shepard. 1. So he gives Shepard a countdown. They're pointing the guns at each other. And Shepard surrenders. And Madrid freaks out. So this is after Daniel Perez is dead. The next thing the trust wants to do is limit the number of cabinet members or board members to an odd number so that they can pass a vote. They can't pass a vote with even numbers. So right now they have 12, and that means someone has to die to go down to 11 for an equilibrium again. And now here is Madrid with all his goons dead, with all his guards dead. And Shepard has just surrendered, and he freaks out. He basically says he's being offered up. And he says, but I've got what you want. I have plenty of what it takes to keep me alive. Name your price. And Wylie is pointing the gun at Shepard, and Shepard says, just shut up. This isn't really about you. It's about me. And Madrid doesn't listen, and Madrid keeps trying to make a deal and negotiate with Wylie. Madrid, keeps talking and offers Wylie Shepard's job and says that he'll vouch for him. And that is when Wylie shoots him. Because what Wylie wants is to make Shepard suffer. And he cracks him across the face with the gun and says, fight back. So Wylie is in some ways blaming this on Shepard, making Shepard responsible to fix it for the trust if that's what he wants to do. Wylie doesn't care. Wylie put the suit back on. And that's significant for all of these characters. The suit and tie. The tie is a noose. The tie is a symbol of middle management. The billionaires don't wear ties, and the poor don't wear ties. The middle managers, the responsible men, wear neckties. And Shepard is pissed, but he knows what's coming, and he just takes it. And Wylie burns down Madrid's house and puts Shepard in the trunk of the car. And really, this is great. And I'm glad I took the time to do this again. I stand by all my bullshit. Yeah, I'm not going to change who I am, but I can be more polite. So here we catch up to the present. This is where I left off before I redid 5 of these. Wylie is back in the whatever Voodoo Lounge hotel that he's staying at. And Shepard is tied to a chair. And they're talking about it being hot there. And they talk around the fact that Wylie has Dizzy tied up under the bed. And this is really good. Look at how this is framed. We see her, we see him. But in reality, this is turned. And he didn't even have to do it. He just, we see her and we see him. But she's looking at him. And she's really facing us. See what I'm talking about? He broke the frame in such a great way. Wylie's looking over her hip. I mean, I guess she's looking at him, but we see all of her, whereas he's seeing her back. That's genius comic booking. And I don't think I mentioned that last time. So, 100 bullets, 56. The conflicted deck 4, 10 of spades. Weeks after society collapsed, the lack of utilities and comforts of everyday life turned cities into death traps. Where would you bug out to if cities as we know them today were no longer safe and habitable? Where do you think everyone else in the same situation will go? There's a few places in LA. It depends on when you're talking about. So for the immediate disaster, you could probably take a boat out to Catalina for 2 or 3 months, but then you'd have to leave there for somewhere up the coast, Santa Barbara, somewhere you could get into the mountains and get into them. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to survive in the mountains on my own. Realistically, I mean, that's harder than it seems. I'm sure I could do the collecting water and all that, but it doesn't rain that much in California, so you'd have to get up into the mountains in like Tacoma, Washington. And then that's a whole different, you're invading other people's land then, and they're going to be seeing a lot of that. So I'd try and ride it out in LA. I don't know what I'd do. Catalina would be a good move. The Big Bear and Lake Arrowhead would be a good move too, but definitely everyone else would be going there. It's going to be insane whatever happens in LA. Santa Barbara is going to be insane. Arizona would be good. Those people already know how to survive in difficult climate, but I think without the trucks rolling through, places like Phoenix places without constant, it's places along rivers that are going to be the future if the power goes out. So New Orleans actually would be a good spot. The Gulf of America, the Gulf of Mexico would actually be a good place to be. I don't know. You'd have to already be an outdoorsy person. What you're really going to lose is antibiotics. That's going to be the thing that kills the most people. People are going to get hurt and get the wounds infected and they're going to die. And that'd be terrible. See you guys tomorrow.